Good morning, students. Yesterday, we learned about the 10th standard lesson. There's a Girl by Track by Devan Kanal. And in the afternoon session also, I learned one more subunit in this particular lesson. Here, it's a real incident that happened in the Mumbai suburban railway station that a girl named Roma went into the train. She was unable to stand properly by the door. She was thrown out of the train and fell down unconscious between the tracks. And she was seen by one more boy in the train in the opposite direction named Baleshwar Mishra, who take a risk and to save the life of this girl. Yesterday we learned about this. So how risk he has taken to save Roma Talreja. We know that he jumped out of the train. Nobody volunteered to help him, but he himself jumped out of the train, went between the tracks. At last he found Roma was lying between the tracks unconsciously. Inside there was nobody to help him. There is no way to go out. In such situation, he lifted her and went across the tracks in the direction of the noises of the vehicles. At last, he came to the road and he requested many people, many motorists to help him to take her to the hospital because his sister is injured, but nobody volunteered. And that way, so then there is an information about what happened on that day. It was a Friday on 10th of December 2010. She was joined the job. She worked in the call center office. After the work, she joked with her friends and made a plan for the weekends. She was boarded towards the home. And she had planned to have a supper with her parents and her brother. And had a long chat with her fiancé, Vijay. And this Baleshwar Besra was also a different story. He was a lanky youngster. Lanky means a thin and long youngster from Madhya Pradesh, Mirzapur. He was an high school dropout, unemployed boy. He had searching a job, but it was fruitless. So only one thing now he was doing was Baleshwar boarded over a train. He pondered in his future, but all he could now think was saving the stranger's life. He has no job. That is the only thing he was doing is he could now think of saving the stranger's life. So here there is an information. Name Roma, age 21, Baleshwar's age 20, education become graduate, high school dropout, state Maharashtra, Baleshwar Mishram, Madhya Pradesh, profession call center executive, so high school dropout. Reason for boarding, she boarded the train to go her home. He also for the same reason. So shall we continue the same class? Okay. Look at the 10th paragraph. After he brought her to the road, he requested so many motorists to help him to take her to the hospital. He said, "My sister is injured. Please help me. Please help me." Innumerable motorists drove by, some even slowing down to see the young man struggling to hold the blood-covered woman in his arms. Just when he had begun to lose hope, a tempo truck pulled and its driver, a middle-aged man who spoke Gujarati, stepped out. So he requested hundreds of motorists. There are number of innumerable motorists went through the road, but nobody come to his help. Nobody listened to his words because that is the life of the Mumbai. Nobody cared for anybody because since such accidents, such critical situations will happen every day. It is so common for them. That's why nobody bothered about this person's request. Some of the motorists even slowing down to see. Some of the motorists slow down their vehicles, not to help, but to see the young man. Who was the young man here? Yes, the young man here refers to Baleshwar Mishra. Struggling to hold the blood-covered woman. What he was doing? He was struggling a lot because she was unconscious. A lot of blood was flowing through her head. So he was struggling to hold the blood-covered woman in his arm. Just to see how he was struggling to hold the woman. Who was the blood-covered woman? Yes, the blood-covered woman is who? Who is the blood-covered woman? Blood-covered woman is Roma Talreja. Who is she? Roma Talreja. So they want to see how he was struggling, but nobody volunteered to help him. Then he lost hope. When he had began to lose hope, yes, there is no hope because nobody will come to my help. Nobody will help me to take her to the hospital. So when he was going to lose hope, a tempo truck pulled over. A tempo truck came. Tempo truck means just like a lorry. Pulled over, and driver of the tempo truck driver, a middle-aged man who spoke Gujarati. A tempo truck driver stopped in front of them, and the driver of the tempo truck driver was a middle-aged person who spoke Gujarati. Stepped out, came out of the truck. So by just seeing the tempo truck driver, Baleshwar said, "Help me." Baleshwar pleaded. Baleshwar requested, "Help me, help me." And the man helped Baleshwar. That man means the tempo truck driver helped Baleshwar in Roma, drove down in the back of his truck to take the Roma in the lay Roma down in the back of the truck. With the help of the driver and Baleshwar Mishra put down the Roma in the back of his truck. Baleshwar was quickly telling the driver what had happened. Immediately, because why did he told immediately? Because the girl's condition was very critical. He don't want to waste the time. But just as a humanity, he told what happened to the girl. We very quickly told and explained to the driver and requested him to take her to the hospital. When a traffic policeman arrived, he suggested, "Take the girl to Airoli," suggested the cop. So just when they are putting the girl into the back of the truck, while they were speaking themselves about the incident, just then a traffic policeman came and suggested both of them take the girl to the Airoli. Airoli is a place, well-known place. It is where there is a hospital. Suggested the cop. Cop is police, constable of police. There was a hospital. There is a hospital there. He said, there is a good hospital in the Airoli, take her to the Airoli. But Baleshwar disagreed. Baleshwar disagreed the suggestion of the police. Why? Why did he disagree the suggestion of the police? Because he thought Airoli was at least 10 kilometers away. What was the disagreement? What was the reason for his disagreement? Because though there may be a good hospital in Airoli, but Airoli is 10 kilometers away. Reaching the 10 kilometers away is very difficult in the traffic like Mumbai. But the girl's condition is very critical. He has no time. So he wanted to get her to the nearby hospital quickly. That's why he disagreed the policeman. There is a closer place I know of, he said. There is a closer. Close means very near place I know of, said Baleshwar. 10 minutes later, they arrived at a hospital. Small hospital where the nurses helped to take the young woman in. So within a few minutes, they came because he said, there is a closer place I know of. It took her to his well-known place. It is very near to that place. 10 minutes later, they arrived. They means Baleshwar, Roma and driver arrived at a small hospital, very small, where nurse helped to take the young woman in. The nurse also helped him to take the girl into the hospital. But the facility lacked personnel. But there was a facility lacked personnel means staff. There is the lack of staff. There is no sufficient staff in that small hospital. And equipment. There is no good equipments and good staff, sufficient staff in that hospital. So what they do? The on-duty physician was not able to do more. He can't do anything. He can't do more because there is a lack of staff and equipment. He could not do more. Just then give basic first aid. Just give them basic first aid. After that, he advised Baleshwar that she be moved to a nearby hospital, because our hospital is a lack of equipments and lack of staff. We can't do more. Just we can do some basic first aid. Just he gave the basic first aid to the girl and advised them to take to the another better hospital. Baleshwar and the driver had no choice. There's no choice. They have to move because this hospital has no facility. They have to move for another hospital. It is compulsion for them. So, but to move her back into the truck, once again they put her back into the truck. When the vehicle lurched forward, when it moved forward, Roma stirred. Stirred means something struggling, and her eyes fluttered open. Fluttered open means slightly open. The vehicle was moving, started to move. Then she was stirred. It means she was stirred here, this side, and slightly open. What may be the cause? Why did she stirred and her eyes flutter open? Yes, because as a result of the basic first aid they have got in that smaller hospital, she was able to got conscious. Because of this consciousness, she got flutter open. So as soon as she got conscious, Baleshwar asked her, "What's your name?" Who was with her in the back of the truck? Because Baleshwar was with her in the back of the truck, he immediately asked her, "What's your name?" She told, "Roma." She managed to grin out with a lot of difficulty. In the low voice, she told, "Roma." Why? Because she was very weak. She had lost a lot of blood. So she told slowly, her name was Roma. "Whom can I call?" He asked quickly, fearing that she would black out once more. Immediately asked, whom can I call? Why did he ask quickly? He had a fear that she would black out once more. What is blackout? Blackout means she will going to be unconscious once more. Just she got conscious because of the basic first aid. Definitely she will going to be unconscious once more. That's why before she go losing her consciousness, he wanted to know who she was and whom she should inform. That's why he asked whom. She told, "My brother Dinesh." She said, whom should you want to call? Her brother Dinesh. Slowly giving him Dinesh's cell number. So telling her brother's name, she slowly told the cell number of her brother. Baleshwar memorized it. He did not write it. He had no pen and paper with him. Just memorized the cell number of Dinesh Talreja and watched as Roma's eyes soon lost focus. He saw himself. He watched that Roma's eyes soon, very quickly, lost the focus and rolled back into the darkness. It means, once again, as soon as she gave the information that her brother to call her brother and gave her phone number, she once again got unconscious. So suddenly he said, "Chacha, can I borrow your mobile?" Baleshwar asked, and the driver paused him. He asked the driver to give his mobile. He handed out. Dinesh Talreja was wrapping up his day business. He was a marketing job at the retail outlet of the Ulhasnagar. When his phone rang from a number is